Hi Year 3! Welcome back to this week's science lesson. Well done for completing last week's lesson on types of plants, and this week I'm going to move on to ideal conditions for plants to grow. So for this lesson you're going to need your exercise book, a pen or pencil and a ruler, and you might need some colouring pencils. So in today's lesson we are going to learn to explore and investigate what plants need to grow well. The key vocabulary that you are going to be using in this lesson, so you will need to learn and understand these words in particular, and they are movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excrete and nutrition. Don't worry if you don't know any or some of those words now, because we will go through them in the lesson and hopefully by the end of it you'll be able to explain what they mean. So today we're going to start the lesson by looking at the 7 life processes, and these are things that tell us if something is alive. So the 7 life processes are movement, respiration, growth, reproduction, excretion, nutrition and sensitivity. Now plants do all of these 7 things, and that's how we know that plants are living things. Now plants need certain conditions to help them grow well, and in a moment you're going to be looking at a short clip explaining the 7 life processes in more detail. As there are 7 life processes, it can be quite difficult to remember each and every one of them. So below on the screen you'll see that there are the 7 life processes in order in a list. Now, each of the words starts with a capital letter, and each of those capital letters are highlighted in black. Now if you read down the screen from top to bottom, you'll notice it gives you a name and it says Mrs. Gren. Now this is an acronym that can help you remember the 7 life processes. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and follow the link below and watch the video clip on the 7 life processes for more detail about each individual process. Now that you've watched the video, let's have a look at the 7 life processes in order and some explanations that are simple and easy to remember. So the first one is movement, and that means when you're travelling from one place to another. The second process is respiration. Breathing and making energy from the oxygen in the air. Sensitivity. This is when something is able to detect their surroundings, usually through one of the 5 senses. Growth. This is where things get bigger. Reproduction. This is where something makes a new version of itself. Now for us we're looking at plants, and for plants the new version of itself is seeds. Excretion. This is where any living thing gets rid of any waste or the things that they do not need. And nutrition, this is food that is needed to survive. Now plants make their own food, and their nutrition comes from the nutrients and the minerals in the soil. So for activity 1, in your exercise books, I would like you to use the information from the video and from the lesson slides to explain the 7 life processes in order. So as you can see in front of you, I have given 3 examples. You don't have to present your work in this way, but I've just given you these to start you off if you're a bit unsure. So for example number 1, as you can see on the screen, I started with the life process of movement, which is the first one in the 7 life processes. I started with a bubble letter M to make it stand out. You can colour yours in if you like. Then at the side I put the explanation of what that life process means, so travelling from one place to another with a little picture at the side. Then I've gone to respiration, and then I've gone to sensitivity, and so on until all the life processes are complete. In example number 2, I've done it like a grid style. So at the top I've got the life processes, movement and respiration, a little picture underneath, and then at the bottom the explanations in the correct order. Then at the end I've done like a spider diagram, so this will go round the whole statement in the middle of 7 life processes. Again, I started with movement, put my explanation underneath, moved on to respiration, then I'd move on to sensitivity, growth, and so on until all the 7 life processes are complete. You might want to pause the video to do that now, or you might want to rewind the video a little bit to look at the explanations that we've just talked about to help you with your work. Now that you've completed your first activity looking at the 7 life processes, I want you to now think about, have you ever looked after a plant? If you have, what did you have to provide it with to help it grow? In your exercise books now, I'd just like you to write the things that you think are needed to help a plant grow successfully, so it grows well. So now that you have written in your exercise books what you think plants need to grow successfully, we're going to look at how scientists would test this theory. So scientists find things out by setting up investigations and gathering their results and turning that into data or numbers so that you can start to compare things. So today we're going to watch a short video clip in a moment to find out exactly what plants need to grow well. Now the type of experiment that you are going to watch is an experiment that is called an explore and investigate type of experiment. When looking at plants and how they can grow successfully, scientists would start with a question they want to investigate. So on the screen in front of you, you can see 3 different questions that could be used. There are more, but these are just 3 examples of questions that could be used to investigate plants. So for instance, we could have, what happens if a plant has no water? Can a plant grow in the dark? And if a plant has no heat, will it still grow? In your exercise books now, you need to draw the table that is on the screen. So you need a heading of what do plants need to survive? You need it splitting down into 2 columns with a tick on one side and a cross on the other side. Pause the video so you can do that now. Now that you've drawn your table, you need to pause the video and follow the link below to look at a short video clip showing what plants need to grow successfully. As you watch the video, you can fill in the table for the things that plants need to survive and the things that you shouldn't do with plants because it doesn't help them to survive. Then when you finish, you can upload your activities 1 and activity 2 to Seesaw for me. For your science challenge this week, I want to see if you can use your imagination to create a brand new plant, thinking about where it might live and what it might need to be able to grow. Some examples are on the screen now to give you an idea of the creativity you could use, and you can follow the link below which will take you to a place called Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and on there are some amazing sculptures that have been made out of plants. And again, that'll give you some good ideas that you might be able to magpie to use in your creations. Well done for the lesson, guys. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Don't forget to upload all your work onto Seesaw for me to comment on. Bye.